Introduction: The dark, true story of the adventures of Ozzie and Harriet cast The Adventures of Ozzie and Harriet holds the record as the longest-running live-action sitcom in American television history, until it was surpassed by It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia in 2021. Spanning 14 years from 1952 to 1966, the show became an iconic piece of American pop culture. Its origins, however, trace back to 1944, when the Nelson family first entertained audiences on the radio, effectively sharing their lives with the public for over 2 decades and blurring the lines between reality and fiction. The series premiered at a crucial moment in television history. According to TV historian and filmmaker Peter Jones, who penned and directed the documentary Ozzie and Harriet: The Adventures of America's Favorite Family, the show aired at the perfect time for what he describes as the deconstruction of the American family on television. Ozzie and Harriet emerged as the quintessential TV couple of the 1950s, with Ozzie often portrayed as a lovable goof-off, seemingly avoiding work and spending his time loafing around their charming colonial home, venturing out primarily to grab ice cream. In contrast, Harriet epitomized the devoted housewife, always found in the kitchen with an apron on. Meanwhile, their sons, Ricky and David Nelson, captured the hearts of viewers as handsome, honorable young men whose major concerns revolved around high school dances and acquiring the car keys from their dad. Throughout the run of the show, audiences witnessed the boys grow up in real time, adding to its charm and relatability. Tragically, the story doesn't end happily ever after. Ozzie passed away in 1975 from cancer at the age of 69, while Harriet succumbed to heart failure and emphysema in 1994 at 85. The family suffered another devastating blow when Ricky died in a plane crash on New Year's Eve in 1985, at just 45 years old. Today, we will delve deeper into the complexities of the lives behind the beloved characters, revealing a darker tale that contrasts sharply with the wholesome image presented on screen. Harriet was born Peggy Lou Snyder in Des Moines, Iowa, into a family deeply rooted in the world of theater. Growing up in such an environment, she was exposed to the performing arts from a very young age. Her talent shone through early, as she made her acting debut at just 3 years old. By the time she reached 13, she was already gracing the stages of Broadway, showcasing her skills and charm to audiences. This early start in acting laid the foundation for her future career in entertainment. In 1930, Harriet took a significant step in her personal life by marrying comedian Roy Sedley. However, this union was short-lived. The couple separated the following year, a decision influenced by allegations of abuse. This difficult experience marked a challenging chapter in her life, but it did not deter her from pursuing her passion for acting. Harriet's resilience and dedication to her craft would eventually lead her to greater opportunities in the entertainment industry, including her iconic role in The Adventures of Ozzie and Harriet. In 1932, Harriet met Ozzie while they were both performing in vaudeville, a popular form of entertainment at the time. Their connection blossomed, and they married in 1935. Ozzie was not just a performer. He was the leader of a band known as the Ozzie Nelson Orchestra. This band gained significant success during the 1940s, showcasing Ozzie's talent and leadership in the music industry. As their careers progressed, Ozzie and Harriet made appearances on various shows, including The Red Skelton Show, where they captivated audiences with their charm and chemistry. Their popularity on this show paved the way for them to create their own series, leading to the launch of The Adventures of Ozzie and Harriet. This transition to television marked a significant shift in their careers, allowing them to reach a wider audience and solidify their status as beloved entertainers. The show became a staple of American television, reflecting the couple's real-life experiences and family dynamics, which resonated with viewers across the nation. Initially, Ozzie was hesitant to include his children, David and Ricky, in the radio show. He worried about the impact it might have on their lives and careers. However, Bing Crosby played a significant role in changing Ozzie's mind. Crosby, a well-known entertainer, encouraged Ozzie to let his sons join the show, believing it would be a great opportunity for them. This decision turned out to be pivotal, as both David and Ricky went on to have successful careers in entertainment. Their involvement in the show not only showcased their talents, but also helped to shape the family dynamic that became a hallmark of the series. David Halberstam's book, The 50s, sheds light on the pressures that David and Ricky faced from their father Ozzie. As they grew up in the spotlight, they dealt with expectations that came with being part of a famous family. Ozzie's desire for his sons to succeed in the entertainment industry added to the weight of these expectations. The blend of family life and show business created a unique environment for the boys, influencing their paths in ways that would resonate throughout their lives. At the age of 17, Ricky became a teen idol, capturing the hearts of many with his charm and talent. His rise to fame included a notable role in the film Rio Bravo in 1959, where he showcased his acting skills alongside legendary stars. However, his personal life was not as smooth as his career. Ricky married Kristen Harmon in what was described as a shotgun wedding, a term often used to indicate a hurried marriage, possibly due to unexpected circumstances. This union faced numerous challenges, leading to marital problems that were often highlighted in the media. Despite their struggles, the couple tried to navigate the complexities of their relationship. Tragically, Ricky's life was cut short when he died in a plane crash in 1985. Initially, there were claims that substance use played a role in the accident, but investigations later revealed that the crash was caused by a heater fire, shifting the narrative surrounding his untimely death. The combination of his early fame, personal challenges, and tragic end left a lasting impact on those who followed. After Ricky's death, Kristen faced immense struggles that led her to turn to hard drugs. This difficult path resulted in a custody battle over their son, Sam, as she fought to regain control of her life and her role as a mother. Meanwhile, Ozzie, who had always prioritized his health, was deeply affected by the family turmoil. Despite his efforts to maintain a healthy lifestyle, he was diagnosed with liver cancer and sadly passed away in 1975 at the age of 69. The loss of Ozzie was a significant blow to the family, leaving a void that was hard to fill. Growing up in the spotlight, David and Ricky Nelson experienced a unique childhood, often compared to the life depicted in The Truman Show. They spent their formative years on the set of The Adventures of Ozzie and Harriet, where their lives were intertwined with the show. This environment shaped their identities and influenced their futures in ways that were both profound and challenging. The blend of fame and family dynamics created a complex backdrop for their upbringing, leaving lasting impressions on their lives. The portrayal of the Nelson family in The Adventures of Ozzie and Harriet was an idealized version of family life that differed significantly from their real experiences. While the show presented a wholesome and perfect family dynamic, the actual lives of Ozzie, Harriet, and their sons, David and Ricky, were more complex and nuanced. The series, which began in 1952, became a staple of American television, showcasing the everyday adventures and challenges faced by the family. This idealization resonated with audiences, creating a comforting escape from the realities of life during that era. The show's influence on the concept of the TV family is profound. It set a standard for how families were depicted on television, emphasizing values such as love, respect, and togetherness. The Adventures of Ozzie and Harriet helped shape the expectations of family programming, paving the way for future sitcoms that followed a similar format. Its legacy continues to be felt in modern television, where the depiction of family life often draws inspiration from the show's blend of humor and heart. The series remains a significant part of American TV history, illustrating the power of media to shape cultural perceptions of family. The Adventures of Ozzie and Harriet stands out as a pioneering television series that effectively showcased the dynamics of family life in a humorous and relatable way. Initially beginning as a successful radio program, the show's transition to TV in 1952 marked a significant moment in the evolution of sitcoms. While many contemporary series have claimed to capture the essence of everyday experiences, Ozzie and Harriet truly set a precedent in portraying the small yet amusing challenges that families often face. The premise of the show often revolves around relatively mundane situations, transforming them into entertaining narratives. For instance, one memorable episode features Ozzie discovering a stray bolt while cleaning, leading him to ponder its rightful place within the household. These kinds of scenarios invite the audience into the characters' lives, blurring the line between fiction and reality in a delightful way. The series manages to balance simplicity with depth, as each plot emerges from everyday experiences that resonate universally. Critics of the series might argue that its gentle humor lacks the sharpness and wit found in many modern comedies. The pacing is often deliberate, and some viewers may find that the plotlines can meander without engaging conflict. However, this methodical approach mirrors the nature of everyday life, where problems are not always grandiose but rather occur in bites. The humor may seem outdated to some, particularly in later seasons, but for others, it calls to mind a simpler time, evoking nostalgia that is hard to replicate in today's fast-paced sitcom format. Moreover, the characters themselves, Ozzie and Harriet, along with their sons David and Ricky, are portrayed with an endearing authenticity. Their interactions reveal the warmth and affection that constitutes a loving family environment, even amidst comedic chaos. This familial bond is central to the series' charm, showcasing the dynamics not just of a nuclear family, but also their interactions with neighbors and friends, fostering a sense of community that is often overlooked in today's programming. While some viewers appreciate the straightforward nature of its comedy, others might crave the edgy humor and complex narratives prevalent in modern sitcoms. Nonetheless, Ozzie and Harriet's gentle humor, coupled with its richly detailed portrayal of family life, remains relevant, as issues like sibling rivalry, parental dilemmas, and community interactions are universally relatable. As the series progressed, and the boys matured from children into young adults, the show began addressing these evolving family dynamics, although it did draw criticism for occasionally faltering in its execution. In summary, The Adventures of Ozzie and Harriet offers a unique blend of humor rooted in the everyday occurrences of family life, filling a niche that few shows have managed to replicate effectively. Its legacy as one of the first family-centric sitcoms is undeniable, influencing the genre long after its original broadcast. The series may not appeal to everyone, particularly those accustomed to more contemporary comedic styles, but it provides a heartwarming glimpse into the past that continues to resonate with viewers who cherish love, laughter, and the everyday adventures that define family life. But hold on, there's more to uncover after the laughter fades. As we reminisce about the warmth and charm of Ozzie and Harriet's household, we invite you to dive deeper into the fascinating lives behind the scenes. What became of the beloved cast after the camera stopped rolling? Did they maintain their close-knit relationships or venture down different paths? From David Nelson, who continued to explore his passion for music and directing, to Rick Nelson, whose rise in the music world would captivate many, their stories took unexpected turns. And what about the iconic Ozzie and Harriet? Their real-life partnership offered unique insights into their enduring legacy. You might be surprised to learn about the challenges they faced and the triumphs that shaped them after the series finale. Prepare to discover the hidden chapters of their lives, filled with successes, struggles, and surprising revelations that keep the spirit of Ozzie and Harriet alive in our hearts. Ricky Nelson portrayed Rick Nelson in the 1952 TV series The Adventures of Ozzie and Harriet, embodying a charming yet complex teenage character that resonated with audiences. This role helped launch his music career, transforming him into a teen idol and setting the stage for numerous hit songs. As he transitioned from the small screen to music stardom, he faced the pressures of fame early on, grappling with the expectations placed on him. Behind the facade of a perfect life, he battled personal demons. Nelson's life marked dark moments, including a troubled marriage to Kristen Harmon, which ended in a painful divorce in 1982, exacerbated by allegations of infidelity. The tumult of his personal life led to a decline in his mental well-being. He faced tragedy when his son died in a car accident in 1989, a loss that deeply affected him. In 1985, he faced bankruptcy, which further strained his reputation. He continued to perform but struggled with the legacy of his past. Ricky Nelson died in a plane crash in 1985, leaving behind a complicated legacy that mingled success and sorrow. His contributions to music and television remain significant, but the shadows of his personal life linger poignantly in his story. The last known information highlights his impact on both pop culture and the complex nature of Parley Baer played the role of Darby in the 1952 TV series The Adventures of Ozzie and Harriet. He brought a distinct charm and depth to this character, which resonated well with the show's audience. Baer was known for his ability to switch between comedy and drama, making him a versatile actor. After Ozzie and Harriet, he found steady work in television, often in guest roles across various series that further showcased his acting skills. However, Baer's life was not without its shadows. He faced personal hardships, including struggles with mental health that often plagued actors of his era. In his later years, he dealt with the challenge of being typecast, which limited his opportunities for more diverse roles. Despite his achievements, Baer experienced significant financial difficulties, at times relying on friends for support. On the personal front, Baer was married 3 times, and the relationships were marked by the usual trials of the entertainment industry, leading to tumultuous breakups. More so, he remained a private figure, often shunning the Hollywood spotlight, yet carrying a complex legacy as an actor. The last known information about him indicates that he moved on from acting by the late 1990s and passed away in 2002, leaving behind a career filled with both triumphs and strife. Barry Livingston portrayed the character Barry in the 1952 TV series The Adventures of Ozzie and Harriet. His role, while not central to the story, contributed to the show's charm, capturing the innocence and spirit of youth during a time when family-oriented television was gaining popularity. After the show ended, Livingston faced a challenging path in Hollywood. He struggled to find substantial roles and often worked in theater and smaller television projects. In his personal life, he experienced emotional hardships, battling feelings of inadequacy and the pressures of living up to early fame. Rumors of scandals occasionally shadowed his career, particularly issues surrounding finances and relationships. One notable moment was a brief stint in a more rebellious lifestyle, which contrasted sharply with his wholesome on-screen persona. Despite these trials, Livingston's resilience allowed him to persist in the entertainment industry. In recent years, information about Livingston is sparse, but it appears he has largely stepped away from the limelight, seeking a quieter life. Yet, he remains a fond memory for fans of classic television. The last known updates indicate he lives away from the public eye, reflecting on a life filled with both triumphs and trial. Lyle Talbot's portrayal of Joe Randolph in the 1952 TV series The Adventures of Ozzie and Harriet highlighted his smooth charm and knack for comedic timing. As an enduring character, Joe was often seen navigating the complexities of friendship and romance, adding a relatable layer to the show's lighthearted narrative. Talbot stepped into this role during a period when television was rapidly gaining ground as a cultural force, creating memorable moments that audiences cherish. In a career that spanned decades, Talbot's journey was not devoid of shadows. Before Ozzie and Harriet, he faced challenges in Hollywood, including being part of the notorious Hollywood blacklist during the 1950s. Accused of having communist ties, this led to significant hardships as Talbot struggled to secure roles. Despite these obstacles, he managed to reinvent himself, transitioning into voice work, and later appearing in countless guest roles. In his personal life, Talbot faced adversities, such as the struggles of maintaining relationships. He was married 4 times, with each union marred by complications, and ultimately, heartbreak. Reports suggest that his later years brought bouts of loneliness and nostalgia for the heights of his earlier fame, reflecting a gradual decline that echoed the fading glow of the golden age of television. As new generations forge their paths in entertainment, Lyle Talbot's legacy remains a complex tapestry woven with success, challenges, and personal sacrifices. Tragically, his last known years were spent grappling with the realities of aging and an industry that had evolved beyond his time, leaving a poignant reminder of the fragility of fame and the often hidden struggles of those behind the scenes. Joy Lansing's role as the blonde in the 1952 series The Adventures of Ozzie and Harriet marked a defining moment in her career, showcasing her charm and on-screen presence. However, behind the glitz of Hollywood lay a more complex life. Born in 1929 in Salt Lake City, Joy faced early struggles including a difficult home life. She sought solace in acting, but the industry proved to be both a launchpad and a snare. Her career included various film and television roles, yet she often felt trapped by the typecasting that labeled her as merely a pretty face. In the late 1950s, she gained attention for her personal challenges. Joy became embroiled in scandal when she publicly disclosed her struggle with depression and body image issues, shedding light on the dark side of stardom. Her relationships were tumultuous, and her marriage to actor William H. McRae ended abruptly, adding to her woes. Joy's health suffered in later years, and in 1972, she tragically passed away from cancer at the age of 43. Though her visibility faded over time, the impact she made remains. The final details about her life are limited, but her story serves as a haunting reminder of the pressures faced by women in Hollywood. Frank Cady portrayed Doc Williams in the 1952 television series The Adventures of Ozzie and Harriet, a character that became a staple in the lives of viewers. His experience and warmth resonated through the role, establishing him as a familiar face in American households. However, Cady's journey through his career was more complex than it appeared on the surface. While his role on the show brought him recognition, that recognition also came with its burdens. After The Adventures of Ozzie and Harriet, Cady faced a challenging period in which he struggled with typecasting. Despite his talents, he found it hard to break free from the confines of his long-running character. In the years that followed, he took on various television roles, but never experienced the same level of fame. On a personal level, he confronted the dark shadows of the Hollywood system, including the pressures of maintaining a public persona versus his private life. Katie also endured family hardships, with the loss of loved ones, and battles with depression that intensified over the years. These experiences shaped him, but were often hidden from public view. In his later years, Katie enjoyed a quieter life, retired, but still occasionally engaging in interviews and retrospectives about his career. The last known information on Frank Katie reveals that he passed away in 2012 at the age of 96, leaving behind a legacy that reflects both the joy he brought to audiences and the unseen struggles of a life lived in the spotlight. In the 1952 TV series The Adventures of Ozzie and Harriet, Hal Smith portrayed the character of Drunk. This role showcased Smith's talent for blending humor with a touch of sadness, fitting the character's plight as a recurring figure, often found inebriated at various locations. Smith's ability to evoke sympathy while delivering comedic lines resonated with the audience, helping to paint a deeper picture of the struggles faced by those dealing with addiction. Born in 1916, Hal Smith built a notable career in entertainment, featuring in many films and shows during his lifetime. Despite his success, his life was marked by challenges. He faced the harsh realities of typecasting, often being associated with comedic roles, which limited opportunities for more serious parts. Personal hardships included bouts of financial instability as roles dwindled over the years, and a difficult battle with depression following the death of his parents. Known for his upbeat persona, Smith grappled with these hidden demons. In the later years of his life, he found renewed purpose in voice work, contributing to popular animated series like The Smurfs. However, his story came to an end in 1994, when he passed away at the age of 77, leaving behind a legacy filled with both laughter and shadows. The man who brought humor to countless lives carried the weight of his own struggles, a reminder of the complexity of human existence. Ozzie Nelson played a charming yet complex version of himself in the 1952 television series The Adventures of Ozzie and Harriet. As the father figure, he navigated domestic life and fatherhood with humor, but beneath the surface existed a man grappling with personal expectations and societal pressures. After the show ended in 1966, Ozzie's life took dark turns. His marriage with Harriet struggled and faced public scrutiny, overshadowing their earlier image of an ideal family. In the late 1970s, Ozzie dealt with the painful reality of his son David's tumultuous life choices, including struggles with alcohol. This period highlighted the fragility of the family's carefully constructed public persona. Compounding the strife was the heartbreak of Harriet's death in 1994. Ozzie himself faced declining health, leaving him to reconcile a celebrated career with solitude and loss. The last known information indicates that he passed away on June 3, 1975, in Los Angeles, a city that had watched both his rise and fall. His legacy endures in the annals of television history, but it is layered with the shadows of a life colored by challenge. Kent McCord portrayed Kent in the 1952 television series The Adventures of Ozzie and Harriet. His character often represented the youthful idealism of the early 1950s, contributing to the show's light-hearted tone. However, while the series painted a cheerful and wholesome picture, McCord's journey in the entertainment industry was marked by darker undertones, reflecting the personal struggles behind the scenes. After Ozzie and Harriet, McCord faced significant challenges in transitioning from child actor to adult roles. This struggle was not unique. Many former child stars encountered difficulty finding their place in an industry that often forgets them. He dealt with the weight of typecasting and a changing television landscape, which affected his career trajectory. Off-screen, McCord experienced personal hardships, including the pressures of fame and the isolation that often accompanies it. Williams' life was marred by a notable incident in the 1970s, where he faced scrutiny due to a controversial on-set dispute that raised questions about actor conduct. This event cast a shadow on his previously unblemished image. As of the most recent updates, Kent McCord continues to maintain a low profile, with little information available about his current activities or well-being. His legacy remains a mix of fond memories and the relentless struggle many entertainers face. Joe Flynn portrayed Mr. Kelly in the 1952 television series The Adventures of Ozzie and Harriet. His role as the affable yet often nosy neighbor allowed him to showcase a knack for comedic timing and warmth that resonated with viewers. Flynn's character contributed to the depiction of suburban life, reflecting the societal norms of the era. Beyond this role, Flynn's career saw successes and challenges. After the show ended, Flynn continued in television and film, often appearing in character roles that displayed his versatility. However, his personal life was marked by turbulence. Flynn struggled with health issues and had a complicated relationship with alcohol, which took a toll on his family life. His marriage faced difficulties and ultimately ended in divorce, leaving him to grapple with the emotional fallout. In the late 1970s, Flynn was diagnosed with a serious medical condition. This contributed to a decline in his professional opportunities and personal well-being. He passed away in 1974, leaving a legacy as a beloved television figure overshadowed by the struggles he faced. The details surrounding his health issues and career downturn contribute to a poignant narrative of a man whose life was not just defined by his roles, but by the silent battles he fought. Last known reports focus on his life prior to his death, and little has surfaced in recent years, indicating a life that remains enshrouded in mystery. Dave Nelson, played by David Nelson, became an iconic character in the early days of television through the adventures of Ozzie and Harriet. As the eldest son in the family, Dave represented the typical American teenage experience of the 1950s, often caught between the expectations of family life and the allure of personal freedom. Despite the light-hearted premise of the series, Nelson's portrayal captured moments of youthful tension and responsibility that resonated with audiences. After the show ended in 1966, David Nelson faced personal and professional challenges. He attempted various ventures in the entertainment industry, including directing and producing, but struggled to find success that matched his earlier fame. His life was marked by family tragedies, including the early deaths of several loved ones, which cast a shadow over his achievements. In 1982, his brother, actor Rick Nelson, died in a plane crash, leaving David to grapple with the profound loss of a close sibling. Throughout the 1990s, David became a figure grappling with the after-effects of fame and personal sorrow, including financial difficulties during tough times. He remained dedicated to preserving the memory of his family, often engaging in projects that highlighted their legacy. In 2011, he made headlines for battling cancer, a struggle that was both personal and public, as he shared his experiences in various interviews. David Nelson remained a respected figure in Hollywood until his death in 2011, but the mysteries of his life, marked by profound loss and persistent struggle, continue to linger in the shadows of his storied career. His legacy, as both an actor and a man shaped by personal hardships, endures in the memories of fans and family alike. Harriet Nelson played the role of Harriet in the 1952 TV series The Adventures of Ozzie and Harriet, a character known for her nurturing spirit and strong family values. Her portrayal resonated with audiences at a time when traditional family dynamics were celebrated on screen. Harriet was a balanced mix of humor and wisdom, often guiding her husband Ozzie and their sons through daily life challenges. However, after the show ended in 1966, Harriet faced personal hurdles that belied her sunny on-screen image. In 1975, just a few years after the show concluded, the unexpected loss of her husband Ozzie to cancer left her grieving and struggling with the public's fascination with their family's life. The 1985 death of her son David in a tragic car accident further deepened her sorrow, pushing her into a more private life away from the limelight. In her later years, Harriet experienced health issues, including heart problems and diabetes, but remained determined to honor her family's legacy. The last known information indicates that she passed away in 1994, leaving behind a complex legacy of both joy and heartache that marked her life. James Stacey portrayed Fred in the 1952 TV series The Adventures of Ozzie and Harriet, a character that blended charm with a youthful naivety. His role, while supporting, left a subtle mark in the lives of fans who connected with his easygoing demeanor. However, the light-hearted ambience of the show contrasted sharply with Stacey's later life, which was riddled with personal struggles and tragedies. Throughout the years following the series, Stacey faced a series of challenges. His tumultuous personal life included a near-fatal motorcycle accident in 1973 that resulted in the amputation of his left arm and leg. This incident threatened to end his acting career, yet he adapted, finding work in smaller roles and even directing. Scandals also haunted him. In the 1990s, he was embroiled in controversy surrounding a relationship with a minor, which ingrained a shadow over his already complicated public image. In his final seasons, Stacey held a low profile, living away from Hollywood's spotlight. He passed away in September 2021, leaving behind a complex legacy that reflects both his early success and enduring struggles. His last years were characterized by a quiet withdrawal from public life, where he was remembered more for his resilience than his primetime appearances. Don DeFore's portrayal of Thorny in the 1952 TV series The Adventures of Ozzie and Harriet was marked by his sharp wit and affable demeanor, earning him a memorable place in classic television. Thorny, the friendly neighbor, often found himself at the center of humorous situations that captivated audiences. However, the public persona DeFore crafted on screen masked a more complex reality. Post-Ozzie and Harriet, DeFore's career continued in television and film, but struggles loomed. He faced challenges in transitioning to dramatic roles, which limited his opportunities. In the 1970s, he encountered significant personal hardships, including the death of his wife, who succumbed to cancer, adding a shadow to his life. DeFore's career also faded, and he found solace in philanthropy. In the 1980s, he became a successful businessman, operating a restaurant that honored his commitment to community involvement. Despite the darker moments, his legacy remained intact until his death in 1993. His life story serves as a reminder of the complexities behind the smiles we see on screen. As we close this nostalgic chapter on the adventures of Ozzie and Harriet, it's hard not to reflect on the impact this beloved show had on so many lives. Premiering in 1952, it not only entertained families but also gave a glimpse into the everyday life of a real family, showcasing the joyous highs and relatable lows. Ozzie and Harriet Nelson navigated challenges like their son's transition into adulthood and the pressures of fame, all while maintaining a warm and humorous family dynamic. For many, these stories became intertwined with their own childhood experiences. Perhaps you remember gathering around the TV with family on a warm evening, laughing at Ozzie's antics, or finding solace in Harriet's wisdom. We would love to hear your memories. Did you watch the show as a child? What moments stood out to you? Share your stories in the comments below, and let's keep the spirit of Ozzie and Harriet alive together.